conversation and fish at the same time.
You can quit. For free help, text quit now to 333-888.
Hey, welcome to this Thursday's Camping with Steve adventure. We're here trying out summer gear in a winter camping situation. I found a campground that seems to be open. It doesn't have a gate. Online it says it is open till the end of October, but somebody is shooting a gun over there, so I don't feel too welcome. I'm gonna hopefully they'll calm down and we can get to some camping here. I found a pretty good site, but somebody is still shooting over there. And I want to make sure they know that I'm here and that they're friendly, because they may not be taking kindly to campers out here. So I'll go check that. I found a campsite down the road a little bit. There's still a bit of gunfire, but it's in the distance now, so hopefully they're not a local that's angry that I'm out here camping and trying to scare me off. I'll just think the best that they're doing some target practice. Anyhow, I gotta set up my stuff quick because I've about an hour of sunlight left. Checking out the gun situation had set me back a little bit time-wise, but I couldn't see anybody angry chasing after me, so I think I'll be all right. And this campground is actually really nice. So I'll get this tent up and I'll show you around. I've got my summer gear, and for those of you who may not know me, I don't have the best summer gear. So pick this up on sale. It's literally the worst tent you could probably buy. A 3-person guy. They go on sale for like $25, $30 or something. I'm gonna get that set up right here, fairly close to the fire pit. This place actually has free firewood, which is strange. You don't see that much these days. Good. The gunshots have subsided, so that's awesome news for me. Tent is set up. Time for step 2, which is beer. Oh, beautiful out here. And I'm going to check out this free firewood situation because that's unheard of. I'm going to stick $25 into the self-registration so that I'm all good and legal. And I didn't see any signs that say they're closed for the winter, so all is good. I genuinely thought the days of free firewood were long gone. I don't know if that's a Canadian thing or if in the States it's gone that way too, but every campground seems to sell tiny bundles for about, $10. And the worst part of it is a lot of them don't let you bring your own firewood in even. So pretty much the best part of camping is the fire. And if you want that, you're going to pay. I also have people ask about gathering firewood just in the bush. Nowhere around here is that even remotely legal. Every campground has got signs up warning you, don't scavenge firewood, don't look for it, big ticket if you do. If you were on Crown land, you could do it, but I live so far from Crown land. I drove an hour and a half to get here today to the only campground pretty much that's open and kind of remote. And Crown land's a lot farther than that. This campground, obviously this time of year, and I think year-round, you self-register. Normally you fill out an envelope in here. There's none here. So I've brought my own envelope with my name and the date and hunkered down. In case whoever gets it is a subscriber, that'll be a little Easter egg if they find that. And it goes. I'm all paid up, so next step is the fire. Time to start a survivalist fire here to keep us warm. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but I just like to follow the directions on the log and light both sides of the package. That should get that started, and then we can put the wood on. And we all pray that lights. That got her going nicely. So we got about 15, 20 minutes until the sun dips below the horizon there. I'm going to throw the thermarest into the tent and a sleeping bag into the tent. And that's all the same equipment I use in the summer. And more on that later. But I don't believe in buying the top-notch stuff if you have not seen my videos before, but I can see how necessary it really is to buy that four-season tent. I'm sure it's better, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. This campground's empty except for me, because either I'm the only one crazy enough to go camping in the winter, or nobody thinks it's possible. There's summer gear. So I'll do a quick walk around the campsite. I did see somebody left a little thing set up in the next site over there. I'll take a peek at that, look at the sunset, and check out the boat launch. I don't think the park people come around very often. Now, thankfully, they do have outhouses here, so no going into the forest for me. And the nice thing in the winter about these things is they freeze up, so there's no aroma. Now, this looks to be the boat launch, and I think the reason they keep this campground plowed is so people can go down there for ice fishing. Way too thin of an ice right now to do that, but we'll wander down and take a peek. You can see a fault line in the ice. There's the guns again. I don't know enough about lake ice, but it's enough that makes me want to stay off of it completely for quite a while. Wildlife in the area. That's a moose for sure. Here we are. Home sweet home for the night. My sleeping bag, one of the ratchet straps things broke on it because it's inexpensive, but it still works. And thermarest, same guy I used all summer long. It was on sale. Let this thing inflate as much as it will. Give it a little more air to fully inflate it. That is the sleeping system. Now, with the sun dipping down, it cools off quick. My lantern mantle and globe, mantles and globe have both seen better days. So tie on a couple mantles. I always keep a whole bunch of universal mantles in the bottom of the lantern kit for just such a reason. And the mantles that were on there actually lasted me for probably a couple of years. Hard to believe. That throws some good light now. Don't lose the screw that holds the top on. Oh yeah. Definitely hear something. Oh my. Okay. A couple of eyes looking at me. Two sets of eyes looking at me. There's a couple of moose out there, I think. Those are big animals. Time to get back into the car. There's a moose looking right at me. I normally try to avoid moose if at all possible. I know they're dangerous during certain times of the year, and I just don't want to chance it. I called Crazy Neighbor and asked, how dangerous are these things? And he says the rut is over now, and they apparently don't know it's hunting season. So I'm going to wait till they move on a little bit. My temperature here is showing -3 degrees, so it's not too cold. But when these things are gone, I'll be back up there to cook some food. The moose seem to have moved on, which is the type of behavior I like in a moose. So before I get dinner started, I'm going to give a big cheers to the beer donation guys and girls. Everybody who's made the beer possible, me taking an extra day off of work possible to do this, and you know, all this stuff wouldn't happen without you guys. So big shout out to all of you. And the meal I'm going to do tonight is going to be kind of a Thanksgiving inspired thing in a camping version, because I love Thanksgiving, and in Canada we have that in October. So I like to celebrate US Thanksgiving as well, except my video is going to be dropping on Thanksgiving next week. So to get everybody in the turkey mood, I'm going to do the backpacking or outback camping turkey dinner tonight, and I'll do that on my little butane stove. It doesn't work well in these temperatures because the butane won't vaporize if it's below freezing. About 32 Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius, it just won't flow. So I'm going to have to heat that up a little bit before I start cooking. But in the meantime, I'm just enjoying a beer up here, and I'm optimistic about how that tent is going to perform. I think it'll be all right. It's all just regular summer equipment. That's literally the sleeping bag I use in the summer. The everything is what I use in the summer in there. Other than I've got some sweatpants on and a jacket on temperature right now is -5 Celsius, so 26-ish Fahrenheit. I don't know. That's just a guess. But it's going to be pretty good tonight, I think, because I can normally withstand these temperatures. I've done a lot worse. And I like to use the inexpensive gear because camping should be for everyone. You know, when you think of camping, what does it boil down to? Like, I get the picture in my mind of somebody leaning up against the tree with nothing more than a bedroll and a can of beans. And somehow it's turned into this gentrified thing where you got to be spending hundreds of dollars to just rent a campsite, reserve it, buy the firewood. I think it's getting silly. So I'm taking back camping for the people. I'm trying to. Let's get the meal going, and it's going to be a good night as long as there's no more surprise animals stumbling through the campsite. All right, let's get some firewood before we start dinner here, because I don't want to do that after I got the turkey coma happening. They want you to keep a small fire, except they have these humongous fire pits. So, I got to grab a couple of real big ones to throw on there tonight. That should burn for a long time. Yeah. Okay, today's Thanksgiving dinner consists of stovetop stuffing, a can of turkey, never tried it before, but I will, can of turkey gravy, and actually, can of peaches and green corn. I was going to call up the number on the back of the can to see if I can actually cook it in the can, but I didn't get around to that. Too many steps. So, oh yes, I've warmed up the butane cylinder. First step, we're going to get corn warmed up. And this is actually a meal you could take canoeing, and you can extrapolate on it. You can get the cranberry sauce, mashed potato mix, etc. To have a little bit of an imitation meal for the holidays. Carry some butter in a Ziploc bag, and I'll break a chunk off into there. Not that big of a chunk, but yeah. Okay. Can of corn seems to be done. So then we get our half cup of water. I'm going to boil that up good with some butter, and we'll throw in the turkey stovetop mix. Okay. Butter for the stuffing. Now we wait. Water and butter is boiled. I'm going to dump in the stovetop. This is literally a 15-minute pantry bastardized Thanksgiving meal. And I'm very glad to be doing it. That part simmers in there. Well, the breadcrumbs absorb the water. And the next two steps are gravy and turkey. And I think I'm going to be eating good tonight. I've never opened up one of these cans of turkey. Today is the day. Ooh, it's like tuna. It's full of liquid. Thank goodness the bears are all hunkered down, because I'm going to drain this broth out of here. Holy moly. Okay. Let's see what's inside this can. Nobody's ever wondered. It's actually chunks of white meat turkey. Yeah, no, I can do this. That's okay. In you go. It's turning into a casserole type of thing. Okay. I'm actually really impressed with what those look like. And in goes the can of gravy. And the whole thing is going to be stirred into a big mess with some corn on the side. And I think, yeah, for canoeing or something like that, this would be a great thing that doesn't need refrigeration. You can do the whole meal deal. Right on the river or wherever you may go. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, not a moment too soon. I've got this on full blast, and it is so cold out here that I'm losing burner pressure. So that should get the bottom part warm enough. And then we are going to eat like a king tonight. Next stop is dinner. This is kind of what the casserole combination looks like off over the counter ingredients. I snuck a quick taste of it while it was cooking. And yeah, this is something I can easily eat when I'm camping. Oh yeah. Surprisingly pleased with the canned meat. I'd seen it on the shelves for years, but I'd never had the